All right. Well, thank you for participating in this, I would say, extraordinary conversation, right? It's good to learn about each other and what our likes are. So we got kind of a jam-packed meeting. We shall see where this ends up. We never know. So what do we have going on today? We are going to start with welcoming some new associates. Bill, the banker, is going to give us some updates. Then we're going to go into our ALC breakout rooms. Woohoo! Fun times there. And then just highlight some upcoming trainings, talk a little bit about what's coming up with our awards on Thursday. And then Allison's going to give us a little lowdown on a commission checklist to help us so you can all get paid. And then hopefully we will have some listings coming soon. So that's it for today. All right, so check out this little welcome screen. So we've got Lakeisha Morgan, who came back to KW. She started at KW, then went to Bradley. Now she's back at KW. And then we have Joe Tarihi. Did I pronounce that right?
Terry,
okay, just like it looks. Molly Thompson. We have AJ and we have Brittany. So let's unmute ourselves and give a big clap. Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. All right, so we are going to, oh my goodness, congratulations. Congratulations, Michelle. Where's your face? Are you on here? Where's your pretty face? Where is she? Unmute yourself, Michelle. Say hello so I can see you on my screen. Where is she?
I hope they're not still upstairs.
Wait, that's a good question. Can anybody tell me if Michelle or Tina are on here? Where are they? They're not even on there.
I can move the slide to later in the meeting.
Okay, so we'll...
Michelle's out showing houses.
All right, so pretend, be very, very excited. Somebody let me know when Michelle's face has popped up here, or just Allison take control and bring up the slide and we'll all know what to do and we can congratulate her. So pretend like you didn't see that yet. Oh, and Allison, before we jump into Bank 59, can you give me host ability so that I can do the breakout room thing or start prepping that? So, okay, beautiful. So we're going to build the floor a little bit because, you know, we might need to talk about appraisals and home prices and what's going on in the market. So listen up. This is going to be very, very helpful for you guys. So take it away, Bill.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Kim. So, you know, it was a year ago in February that I had an Ask the Appraiser panel upstairs, and right before everything kind of went full on pandemic. And it really was very coincidental that we got into these discussions with appraisers. Can everyone hear me okay? So we got into these discussions with appraisers where we found out that we were going to be in a position where the pace of sales. I'm hearing a lot of background noise.
Yeah, Allison.
Kathy, can you mute yourself? Mind right? Kim, you can mute her.
Oh, I can? Oh no, they gave me control.
You're the host.
I can't find her name on my screen.
1:30 p.m.
Should be.
Or Friday.
It's like the first time is
Hey,
like
there
the
we go.
first. Are we good? Oh my goodness. Welcome to Zoom, people. Welcome. ZOOM. Okay, go ahead, Bill.
Nice
Sorry
work.
about that.
Okay, I'm going to start over. So a year ago, we had an opportunity to bring some appraisers in, and we had an Ask the Appraiser event. And one of the prevailing themes that we had in that discussion was that the pace of sales is not able to keep up with the sales data, or vice versa. The previous data just can't keep up with the pace of sales. You know, that's a real thing. And not only was it a real thing last year, it's even more a real thing this year. So we want to dive a little deeper, guys, on some really important attributes that relate to how you present this information and how the lender gets involved. You know, there's a real important role that the lender places in this discussion, and now more than ever, the partnership matters. So a lot of you have opportunities to work with someone that you have a relationship with, and by no means am I trying to take that away from you, but I sure do want to show you how I present it in case there's a chance that Bank 5-9 can help put you in a good spot, and the chance that I could help put you in a place with your buyer so that they feel like they're eyes wide open on how they're going to approach the situation. So here's the scenario. So pay attention because this is important. I have a real scenario here that happened to me on a property in Port Washington. The offer price was $407,500. The appraised value was $390,000. The customer's putting 10% down on the house. They are in a position where if you take and look at the difference in the numbers, they're trying to figure out, should I still think I can buy this house or not? Honestly, they're not really sure. And if you have some discussion with that buyer ahead of time, you can make sure that they understand and they're ready for it. They're ready for anything. So can we go to the next slide? So this is what I give everyone when I'm providing information. And I want to stress to you, the confusion comes in where the customer doesn't understand that the numbers are based on the lower of the appraisal or the purchase price, not the higher of. So for those of you that are new agents that don't like conceptually think about that, look at this example. So we had a purchase price of $407,500, an appraised value of $390,000. We have a value shortage of $17,500. Now the customer is probably coming out of a pending sale, or they have a budget for how much they're willing to come to closing with. So what I do is I show them these numbers up front. The $390,000 number represented what the purchase price should have been based on what it was listed for, but they had to offer $407,500 to get into the house. The customer had the ability in their scenario to come to closing with about $60,000. And in order for them to make everything work, I showed them how if in their situation, they wanted to only put 10% down and they're going to cover the shortfall, they would be at $56,000 for their cash to close. And that's after their earnest money. I showed them that they could put down as little as 5% down with the shortfall and be at $36,500 cash to close. And for those of you that are already doing a great job with your presentations on your net proceeds calculations for your sellers for how much they're netting out, I'm basically doing a similar thing, except I'm doing it with the buyer. So we get into these discussions where we don't present as if the glass is half full. And when we don't do it like that, suddenly people go into this with a negative mindset. And I want to erase the negative mindset because we don't think from scarcity here. We think from abundance and we think from what we can do, not so much focus on what we can't do. So if we can go to the next slide. So in this example, what if I told you that that customer has no idea how much they would have to pay for mortgage insurance? What if I told you that they thought they were going to have 20% down, but now they don't? In this example, on a $390,000 purchase price, this customer only has to pay mortgage insurance somewhere between $40 and $67 per month in most cases. They could ultimately have a nominal change in their mortgage payment just by having this information up front. They're equipped way better to make an informed decision on how they're going to go about it. Now, I do want to introduce one other idea, and that other idea is we're seeing a lot of cases where someone has to go in and buy their new house before their old house is sold, and they don't always get to pull all their equity out right away. So what I'll sometimes also do is I'll give them a second mortgage, and I will give them the opportunity to pay off that second mortgage after they get their house sold so that they don't end up with PMI. Another thing that you should be ready for is this question. Well, I don't want mortgage insurance. How long is it going to be on my loan? And very simply, you can tell them that most lenders allow you to get rid of private mortgage insurance after 24 months, and you have to order an appraisal if you want to have the PMI taken off faster than normal. And you also have to, of course, be on time on your loan in order for them to be able to drop the mortgage insurance, because if you weren't on time, they're not really too keen on eliminating the PMI. So in scenarios like this, if we have a chance to pre-approve customers and we know they're going to write an offer on a house over asking, with your permission, we will give them these kind of numbers right out of the gate so that they know what they're dealing with. And my motto regarding this whole situation, everyone, is sell what you have. Okay. I've seen other markets. I've seen markets where I was selling 6% interest rates back in the early 2000s. And it really is absolutely a mindset thing where when we talk about a pivot, where you are basically trying to manage how resilient your buyers are going to be. And if we work as a team, I think we can be really effective in the effort to achieve that. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Bill, can we get a copy, or can we somehow, do you have a spreadsheet for us that we could plug and play?
I do have a spreadsheet, but I'm not releasing it, Julia, because I want people to come to me.
Got it.
Good question.
Good man. Good man.
Yeah, I have an
Okay.
Excel spreadsheet all set up. I want to be the architect. I want to be the engineer for you. And if your lender is not doing this, my website is billthebanker.com, and I'm right over by the vacant focus title office.
Hey, Bill, can I
Yeah.
ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know if you have any ideas for this, but I think we all know that just about every time we have to go over on these offers, and it's to a point where like the odds are getting lower in many cases that they will appraise out.
Yep.
What do you do with a buyer who only has like 3 to 5% down? Are they just out of luck? Like, what can you do?
That's a good question. Very good question, Lisa. So the first thing that we have to do is we basically have to, the reality is I'm not going to mince words with that buyer. I'm going to make sure that they understand. I had a situation with a couple agents in the office last week where we had a successful closing, and we got lucky on the value. That customer was only putting 5% down. We have conversations about 401k loans. We have conversations about what if they have to get a gift from a family member to make the numbers work. But to that end, Lisa, like you said, there is no free lunch. The person's in a position where they don't have the cash to come up with. This is what I always say. If the seller accepted that buyer's offer with a 5% down payment, and that buyer put in a cap for how much of a low appraisal that they would guarantee, we went in with our eyes wide open, like I said earlier, and we had established all the boundaries for what they were willing to do. If they didn't put an appraisal cap in, and the property appraised low, and the buyer knew going in, that this was kind of a Hail Mary situation where we're going to score a touchdown with 3 seconds left in the game, and if it doesn't appraise out, we're kind of going back to the drawing board with negotiating with that seller. Really, that's the reality. And I probably am not surprising you by saying that, but at the end of it all, the mortgage company's not going to go in with a negative equity position. And even if we wanted to, when we're doing these portfolio loans, I would love to make your mortgage payment for you. I would love to gift you some negative equity out of my side, but I just don't have that wherewithal. But there are a lot of creative ways that you can have a conversation with the customer up front. If you want to go back to that middle screen, Allison, the previous slide. So think about this piece of it. The customer only wanted to come to closing with, let's say they had negative equity. Let's say they only wanted to come into closing with, if you take $56,000 minus $17,000, that puts you at like $39,000. Here's the takeaway, guys. If you stop listening to me because I sound like Charlie Brown's school teacher and you get one thing out of this presentation, this is the takeaway. That person who had the 10% down or that thought they were putting 10% down, if they were in a situation where they could only come in with, say, $40,000, they still can buy the house. We're having the conversation that puts them in that 95% scenario then, giving them the opportunity to still get in the house, stop having to deal with all the minutia and all the uncertainty around when are we going to find a house, and if we do, are we going to win a bid? we're giving them the opportunity to know worst case scenario what will happen, so that when they do get the results, they're ready for anything. They know everything that they had to know to feel confident about the outcome. And I can tell you right now, I have 11 purchase transactions in process. I expect, say 66%, 2/3 of those transactions are going to have low appraisals. And I'm talking to my colleagues and they're saying the same things. The thing that you have to remember is when we go to contest an appraisal, we don't get the luxury of throwing the appraisal out. People go, oh, that appraiser didn't use this sale, and I don't like the fact that they didn't adjust for the current market. That's a really popular response we receive. They didn't adjust for the current market. Well, the reality of this situation is Fannie Mae has something called a scorecard. The scorecard basically databases the gross and the net adjustments that appraiser used, and the underwriters look at that. And from a risk perspective, that appraiser can actually get demoted or have challenges with being able to get accepted for future orders with lenders if they got way too aggressive on the way they did their numbers. So there are instances where we will contest a value and we might get a slight increase. We might not get any increase, because in this market, the appraiser, the reality of it is the appraiser is the judge and the jury. When we contest a value, I have to make sure that the sales I'm using are as close or closer than the ones that were in the report, and that the sales are as recent or more recent than the sales that were used in the report. Because if I'm trying to use older data, and another real popular one is, oh, Bill, there's a house on the market right around the corner and it's closing next week. Can we use that sale? The only way you can use a future sale and revise a report is if you completely start the loan all over again and literally switch lenders, because we can't use a future sale once that appraisal is complete. They won't let us. And I haven't been able to, and I've worked at a fair amount of mortgage companies over the course of the years I've been in the industry. Never was I able to wait for a deal to close only so that I could bring another sale into the appraisal dispute. And then the other thing is you're averaging 4 sales, okay? So you bring in 1 new sale, you're not all of a sudden going to win the lottery or like make everything all better because you pulled in 1 new sale. It's the average of 4 sales that dictates, sometimes 3, but usually 4 sales that will dictate that outcome. Any other questions?
No, I just have a comment. I think, Bill, this is awesome. And I'm really excited that my clients who work with you have this opportunity. I think as listing agents, though, we also have to do our due diligence when we are presenting offers that are way over list, and really be upfront with the seller to say, you know, you're going to more than likely be asked to adjust the price down. And are you willing to do that in accepting this offer? And really get their commitment to, and then just try your best to get it to appraise out. I ended up looking for brand new comps in the scenario for Greenfield. It sold for 30 over, but I ended up trying to find new comps that supported that number, which I was able to do. So my comps that I actually presented to the seller were different than what I presented to the appraiser when I met the appraiser.
And that transaction that I had that successfully closed last week was with Julia and Nicole. So I want to make sure that you all know, like, agents that use me in the office, the dialogue that we're having, the way that we're approaching the situations, it is absolutely like eyes wide open in how we're going about it. So the lender that has the lowest interest rate doesn't win if they don't know how to manage navigating the customer's objections and going through the challenges that you have to endure in this market. And I am not like a Debbie Downer when I'm talking to people about this stuff. I am legitimately helping people understand the pros and cons all the way through in as much of a positive light as we can. So Julia does meet the appraiser at the house, or at least provides them the sales data that the appraiser has to use. And that transaction that I had with her, that was a 5% down deal where she was the lister. And that was the reason why the deal got done, is because she gave the appraiser her rationale. I have had instances where I talk to the listing agent and I go, well, can you give me the sales data as to how you arrived at your numbers? And all of a sudden I hear crickets. So we got to bring merit to the discussion when we're handling these kind of situations. And kudos to Julia for the way she approached that, because that buyer was so happy.
Wow. Wow, very, very helpful given the market of now. And as we continue to say, raise the bar of the industry. This is what we're here for. We are here to raise the bar of our industry, be the professionals. And so let me just clarify, Bill.
Mhm.
If I come and visit you or I call you to learn about who you are and the services that you provide, and we build a relationship, you'll share this spreadsheet with me. Am I correct?
100%. Yes.
All right, then. So here's what I have for you. Challenge, guys. If you're not already doing business with Bill, or you don't know who Bill is, brand new, veteran, doesn't really matter. Get in contact with him, find out what he's all about, have a 5-minute conversation, and bada bing, spreadsheet away. I love it.
Sounds good. I'm glad to bring value, you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. All righty. I am going to, this is our 2021 Associate Leadership Council. And so they are raising their hand that the first team meeting of every month is our opportunity to break out in rooms so we can get a little bit more intimate. And I don't really care what you talk about. You can talk about gardening. You can talk about your favorite baking recipe, whatever it is you want. The point is, let's connect because we are humans and that's what we need to do. So I'm going to hit open all rooms. You're going to click on that, and by accident, Peter, just so you know, you may be in a room with another ALC member, so just work together because I already like assigned rooms. So make it work, people. Go do it. Get to know your neighbor and your friend and your fellow colleague so they accept your offer if you write on their listing. Whoop, whoop, wee. Feel free to say wee along the way. Wee. I wonder what happens when everybody leaves if I'm the only screen then on our recording. Probably. And whoever stays here, if you don't click your room, you get me. Who's left? Is anybody not needing a room, or are you wanting to stay here with me? Let's see. I got Mandy Miller. I got Nancy Meyer and Rachel Hauslander that are still on my screen. Are you guys wanting to chat with me at all?
Sorry, I'm multitasking.
No, that's okay. Did a room pop up on yours?
It might have.
Or do you want to just chat with me?
I can chat with you. That's
So
fine.
we're on Facebook Live right now. So just know that. So what I've learned when we do these rooms, the only people that are left are on Facebook Live. So wave to everybody on Facebook Live, Mandy. Hi.
Nancy's here too.
And Nancy, but it looks like she's just listening. And then it looks like Mia is listening up at the front desk too. So, woo, oh my gosh. So how was your Easter?
It was good. Very low key.
Yeah. Did you like Easter egg hunt or?
Yep. Yep. Did an Easter egg hunt and cooked at
Or at
home.
home or somewhere else?
No, at home.
Yeah. So, and was it like your traditional, just where like, you got to go find the eggs, or did you do something fun? Anything different?
No, we kept it pretty traditional. We do an indoor and an outdoor.
Okay. I did a scavenger hunt this time, now that Maya and Raina are 17 and 19, I was like, ain't gonna be like, you're not gonna get your stuff free. Like, you gotta work for it now, right? You're grown up.
Right. Right.
So I did a here's your first clue. And it was, if I were cold, I would wrap up in this. And then it was over in the blankets. Or one of the clues was, this is something that your parents yell at you all the time about because you never replace it when it's empty. And it was like, I put it in the bathroom by the toilet paper rolls. So they had to go from egg to egg to egg to, like together get each clue. And then, and it was all on the main level. And then eventually the last clue was, this is your last clue and it is not on the main level. And then whatever, it ended up being outside, but I had to do something fun and different.
Yeah, the weather was too nice not to do something outside.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me, business-wise, what can I help you with?
Not much at this point. Well, I take that back. Maybe so. So I have because of what's going on in the market, I've had a lot of different opportunities come my way. So the most recent one that I was surprised with yesterday was somebody contacted me wanting to walk vacant land. And I've never dealt with a land sale before. So when somebody says walk the land, what exactly does that mean when it comes down to walking like 50 acres of land?
And where was this 50 acres? Is this for them to build a home? Were they thinking of subdividing? Like, what's the purpose of the acreage?
With the potential to build, but also they may actual sub parcel at some point in time.
Holy mackerel. And is this the first time they're doing this?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
So I think they might have a little more experience with than I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
All right.
very honored that they're considering me for this.
So the
Because
best.
that's not initially what we were exploring, and now it's kind of going in a different direction.
So one of the best people to talk to, have you talked to Dan Schmidt about that at all?
Not yet.
So yeah, I'd reach out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because he's in new construction, which in turn means he knows a lot about land. I'm sure there's a ton of agents. So if you're listening on Facebook and you're listening to just Mandy and I have our coffee talk, right? We're going to have a coffee talk. And you want to help her out, let her know. But otherwise, I'd reach out to him for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he was one that came to mind.
Yeah, because don't ask me. Like, I sold a piece of property like one time when I was in sales, but because it was like a subdivision,
Mm-hmm.
they already had the contract. Like, it was one of those types of situations where you didn't have to do anything because it was a subdivision. So yeah, but otherwise I don't know anything about land. Like, I don't even know, what is a perk test? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's a whole new ball game. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And how is your database? Like, are you contacting your database to find out, if they're aware of what their homes are worth? Are you doing that, as we call it,
I am. I actually have plans to sit down and have cocktails with a friend of mine tonight because he was planning on doing something later on in a timeline, and we're going to sit down and look at numbers again tonight and say this is a good time to revisit that timeline and move things up.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Kim Rogowski, are you able to talk? I see you just popped in on here. We're currently like broken out into a bunch of rooms.
Yeah, I'm able to talk.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we're just chatting. We were talking about Easter,
I lost track of time. I was cooking my lunch. I was making my lunch and I just lost track of time.
Okay, so have you met Mandy Miller yet?
No.
Hi, Kim.
Hello.
I promise you, someday we're going to actually be live in the training room for these team meetings, and we'll actually know how to have human conversations.
Right?
No. It has gotten so weird.
It is. So, and then we have Jenny Mackis. Are you here? Are you talking today? Or are you just listening today? Maybe she's. Oh, yay! There's a person. Okay, so have you
Sorry.
met?
Mostly listening.
Oh, okay. So why don't we do a quick before I close all the rooms? Jenny, Kim, and Mandy, how about just do a quick like introduction of who you are, Mandy's been in the business for a while, but like if you're newer, like what industry you came from or where you came from, and like get to know each other a little bit. So who wants to start?
Well, I can start. So I'm going into my 4th year of this wonderful industry and learning something new with every transaction and every single year that passes by, and it goes by way faster than what I thought it would have. Last year, surprisingly, considering the pandemic, was my best year yet. And this year I have all sorts of new surprises coming my way that I just didn't anticipate. Bunch of new opportunities. So that's where I'm at. I also serve on the Tech Tribe in our office. So I fill in there on Thursday mornings. So if anybody needs any help, that's where you'll find me on a Thursday morning.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, and personal real quick. Who, are you married? Do you have any kids? What's your story?
I'm married and I have a 14-year-old son.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay.
Teenagers, yay.
I can go. I come from a marketing and graphic design background. My last job was with a roofing and siding company, so a little bit in the house industry. So I'm brand new to real estate, working with Dawn and Zach as their executive assistant. Personal, I am single, but I have a 4-year-old pup named Noble, a golden doodle.
Aw. Okay, Jenny. Do you go by Jenny or Jennifer?
Both, honestly. Usually Jennifer when I'm being a little more formal, but
Yeah.
anybody can call me Jenny, especially in the office.
Okay.
100% fine. People also call me Jen. It's just another shortened word or name for me, right?
Yeah.
I am new. I started in September, and I still feel very new. I started out at the North Shore office, then realized I liked the training better at the New Berlin office, so I transitioned, which was an excellent choice for me. I love it over here. I have a background in business. I worked in purchasing as a senior buyer and then a commodity manager for about 10 years, a little under 10 years. So good business background, contract and negotiation background. Obviously coming into the real estate business, that's helpful, but then there's just so much to learn on the other side of it with the marketing and working with, a completely different industry. So it's been a learning experience.
So people are going to start popping in, just so you know.
Okay.
But yeah. Aw. Well, Mandy's a great person to also, who's your mentor, Jenny?
Katie Nikovich.
Yeah.
And Mindrite. I mean, Mindrite is extremely supportive too.
Yeah.
So I worked a little bit with Tony too. I had a listing and a buyer so far. And just now with how crazy the market is, I'm not working with anybody right now. And I kind of feel like a lot of the buyers who I would potentially have worked with are kind of just nervous to enter this market right now. Everybody, I get some leads and then they just vanish. Like I keep following up with them and they just vanish.
Well, that means you're a realtor. So you gotta just keep on following up with them, as we say. Who here has advice for this? When you're the so-called buyers go MIA, now that everybody's popping back in, who's got the best advice for Jenny?
Just keep in contact with them. Just keep in contact, because all of a sudden, like 6 months or a year down the road, they're like, remember I was going to buy a house. And then I've had more people come back and be like, and Tiffany can attest to this too, that all of a sudden people that I was talking to a year ago, all of a sudden were like, yeah, we're going to buy a house and here's a cash offer a week later, and they buy a house and then sell their house. And then it just builds from there. Just always keep in contact with them, follow up.
Yep.
Yeah. And I make sure I do that. Like Katie told me to put them on a drip campaign. Like I only have their phone number and I've asked for their contact information. They don't give it to me, it's fine. I have their phone number. So I just keep them on a text schedule kind of.
Mhm.
So go to premium, I think it's premium white pages. It's $29.99. I just did my taxes for the year. And you can look up their address. And you can also, if someone calls you, you can reverse check the phone number to find out who it is. If they, if you somehow lose their number or lose their name, I have found it invaluable, and it's the best $30 I've spent for the whole year.
Nice. Okay. Mic drop. Premium white pages, $30 a year. Totally worth it for running your business. Cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Did we have fun? Did we like our breakout rooms? Did anybody learn anything interesting? Any hot tips?
Oh, Tina is going to be the first woman president. Just so that everybody knows, get ready to vote for her.
Okay. Well, we know where to order signs with the stakes. We can all put them in our yard.
I'm still going to do real estate though, too. Do you think that's achievable? Dual career.
I'll make you a flyer, Tina. I can do
Aw.
that.
Thanks.
We
Man
learned everybody's
flyers.
zodiac sign. It was pretty cool.
Well, what's awkward about my room, because I was left behind, the people were great, but we're left behind on Facebook Live. So we're not like really in a private room. So I need to figure that out for next month, what we would do. So I'm just like, okay, well, we're actually on Facebook Live. We're the only ones that are left because everybody left us. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put us in a separate room, and whoever's on Facebook Live, maybe they'll just see a graphic so they don't have to hear our conversations, or I don't know. It just was kind of funny. All right, well, welcome back, my friends. We shall get back to the agenda. We were saying we forgot what it felt like to like socialize outside of just putting ourselves on mute. And I believe we will be back. Oh, Michelle, everybody unmute yourself. Everybody.
I want some cowbells. Where are the cowbells? Where's my cowbell?
Yeah, girl. Okay, so I just wanted to we all just wanted to congratulate you, Michelle, 1, and 2, let everybody know that you're still our amazing Market Center administrator. Am I right?
Yeah.
Or going into sales?
I'm going nowhere. I will just have a referral business. So yeah, no, I'm going to be the MCA. I promise. I'm not going anywhere until I die.
So here's the thing, guys. Like, we have the most amazing business ever where we can actually get our license and make referral fees as an additional source of income. So just like we teach you guys to build your wealth, we want to teach our staff to build their wealth, right? So they've got their salaries and they got their bonuses and they have profit share opportunity and they have referral opportunity. So just, you might want to be nice to Michelle next time you're in. You never know. She might need to refer you a buyer or a seller. So congratulations, Michelle.
Thank you guys so much.
All righty. So, check out these anniversaries in the house. Look at that. Look at that. We've got a lot of really good anniversaries here. And for those of you that all joined us before, refresh my memory, because you know me and my details. Was it before July 2019 or 2020? Some of us who are, when did the profit share change for vesting?
April.
April.
2020?
2020. So if you joined us before April of 2020, you are fully vested after 3 years. For anybody who joined us after that, it's 7 years. So congratulations, we've got some fully vestors here. So love it. Happy anniversary. Tina, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Or no, Steph, do you want to talk about this? at all?
Sure, I will. Okay. I'm sharing a computer with Catherine today, so she's like slid out of screen here. Yeah, so Cody Elger, if you have not heard yet, was our real estate rock star rookie of the year in our whole region. So that's out of 32 market centers. I believe it was 24 transactions, and maybe Michelle can correct me if that's wrong, but 24 transactions in her first year. So we just want to let you guys know in the PC program, you can do it too. So come upstairs at 1:15 and hear what she did so that you can copy that.
Nice. Love it. And
Yeah.
really, honestly, you guys, it's meant for the productivity coaching program, but it's open to anybody. So if
Absolutely.
you haven't closed 24 transactions yet, like, go learn. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Beautiful. And then Katie Goldstein. I don't know, is she in the house? I don't know if she is.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, join me tomorrow. I mean, we have a couple different topics that people have emailed me about around things they wanted to mastermind around checklists and like elevating a client experience. But otherwise, it's kind of an open format for people to bring different things they're having a hard time with or need advice on or need ideas around for events, that kind of thing. So
Beautiful.
come hang out. Yeah.
So I'd say anybody who has operations on a team or anybody who's running their business solely, you are operations. So why not learn? So that's fantastic. Okay. Last chance to RSVP. You should have you should have received an email from Mia this morning. So this will take place on Thursday. So just a little note, we had no idea that we would have so many people RSVP yes that they're attending, which is phenomenal news. We are over 100, Michelle. We are over 100. You can check with me on that. Now, here's two things that I need you to know. One, if you've already RSVP'd, you're good to go. Well, I might have 4 things you need to know. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. 2, if now knowing how many people are attending, you don't want to attend, if you could let Mia know. 3, just like a wedding, we pay for 100, even no matter what, even if we only have 80 that show up. So it's based on a head count. That's how we pay for the food. Okay. 4, we have people who are going to be watching on Zoom, so we'll have that. 5, we would still ask that you wear a mask. So please do plan on bringing your mask. And I don't know, is there a 6, 7, or 8? Abby, anybody?
I would love to just make a comment just as a reminder that this awards event is based on 2020. So if you joined us, our market center or Germantown after December 31st, 2020, you will be in the next year's awards. So just for any confusion, I know we've had transfers, we've had people join us in January. It's kind of weird because our event is so late in the year. Usually we do this in February. But just please keep in mind, this is the status that you were in as of December 31st. So teams as well. If you were on a team at that point and now you're not, or vice versa, just keep that in mind. When it comes to recognition and how we are coming up with these awards, you have to have a hard cutoff. And so if you aren't recognized during this one because you joined us in 2021, we will certainly have you on our next award ceremony. So any questions around that?
Beautiful. All right.
Cool.
We have a lot of really fun awards we're giving. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait. So, all right, Miss Steph Sosa. And yes, I do sing everything today.
At least it's not in your Uber accent. Okay, so in all seriousness, we have some celebrating to do. Melissa Waters had her first listing, and of course, multiple offers on that. So it's not the coming soon, it's already gone. So don't get excited about that one for yourselves. But let's, celebrate for Melissa. And then Anitra had her first closing as well. So super exciting for these ladies. We've got a ton of closings on our productivity coaching board. So we've got like 6 more in the hopper coming. So everyone is doing really great and they're just pounding away at it like the rest of us. And Kim, did you want me to share now?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
totally.
So yeah, as long as we're on here, in case you are working a transaction with someone from another brokerage, we just want to give you a little reminder about what we do here in the PC program. So we've rolled out a new program for everyone that's a new licensee doing their first 5 transactions in the PC program. We have a binder that has basically a 90-day action plan. So basically, here's your roadmap. Here's what you need to do to get quickly into production. So if you're working with someone at another brokerage on a deal that maybe they've only had 1 or 2 transactions, they would be a great recruit, and you could send their information to Tina, and she would get them set up with that. What we also are doing now is interactive homework assignments. So I've been sending out home inspections, and then the new licensees will send back an inspection amendment asking for repairs, so that they're getting used to the verbiage on those. We're doing mock offer scenarios, also, saying, hey, here's an address, send me a CMA on that. So we're really engaging. And then on Mondays, we have accountability coaching where they turn in these checklists. So we're really getting down into what they specifically are doing to get their business up and running. So if you know any friends, family that want to get into real estate, or someone to move over, it's a great opportunity for you to build on your downline.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle.
Hello. So we are sending out an RSVP form today for you to fill out if you can attend on Thursday, May 13th, Red Day. We are going to proceed forward with the ARC. And as I talked about in last week's team meeting, that is, well, it shows right here. But there are 2 locations, one in Waukesha and one in Menominee Falls. It will help us prepare for this camp for kids with disabilities and handicaps. And actually, it's not just for kids, there are adults as well. And it's just an awesome thing. So they haven't decided yet if it was going to be hybrid or virtual or in person. They're voting on that this week, and a final decision should be made, but they have lots for us to do. So outside, inside, in small groups, socially distant, there's accommodations for work that can be done for everybody. So we are gonna, if you could just fill out a form and commit to that May 13th day, that would help the organization of this whole event, because there are multiple locations. We want to make sure that, we have enough people at each place. So really take a look at your schedule very carefully. And if you can commit to that day, we ask that you see that day all the way through, because we'll be then sending out something else, another form that then you'll pick where you want to work. So if you could do that as soon as possible, that would be great.
Yeah, Michelle, we should put on the form then for them to choose the location. Like, would I rather be at Menominee Falls or rather be at Waukesha?
And I think we'll need to send out a second one after that, because they're finalizing like what they would like us, all the activities and where the help is needed. They are finalizing that by tomorrow. So we won't have an exact guess as to where. Well, I guess we could just put Menominee Falls or Waukesha. That would be fine. But we are still going to have to delegate specific duties to each person too.
For sure.
So,
like what are some of the jobs that you were thinking of that you were sharing with me?
So some of the jobs are outdoor cleanup. If it ends up being, so lots of outdoor stuff. She even mentioned mulching, things like that, a little bit similar to probably some of the things that we did a couple years ago at the Retzer Nature Center. They have a lot of office work to be done. They have, if it ends up being a virtual event, we would be in charge of making kits that are going to actually be mailed to these participants. Mandy or Allison, feel free to chime in at any time. I didn't pull out my notes exact, so.
That's good.
So we met with them again yesterday, just to get an idea, but they're going to be getting us a final project list. But ultimately we're talking about doing some yard cleanup, some trimming and hauling of brush, some painting on the interior, possibly some touch-up painting on the exterior, and moving some furniture around in their commercial office space in Waukesha. There's the virtual kits or packs that we would potentially be assembling for their day camp, should their day camp have to pivot to virtual again this year. And but the camp itself is actually a site out in Menominee Park, out in Menominee Falls. This is a site that's actually in, it's a county park, so it's a Waukesha County Park. They have part of the park that is reserved to their site, a big pavilion. So there's like cleanup that needs to be done out there because they had to so quickly pivot last year to going virtual. Some of the maintenance out at that site was deferred. They really need us to come in and really get our hands dirty and really help clean up that site as well. They do have a garden out there as well that's going to need some cleanup, possibly some potential planting to get some of that started. Because even if it does go virtual, they're still going to be doing stuff over Zoom with the participants and showing them, you know, how to work in the garden. So that's something they need help with, spreading the mulch, cleaning up the sites. There's tent sites where they do like canvas tents and platforms. Some of those platforms might need some maintenance done to them as well. So we're probably going to get a pretty comprehensive list from them as far as what they need for projects between the two sites. And they also mentioned something about they have a bunch of like computer and electronic supplies that they need somebody to sort through and kind of identify whether or not those items can be cleaned up, whether they could still be utilized, what their purpose would still be, or whether or not they should just be recycled. So if there's anybody that has a gift in that area and can lend a hand in that on that day, that's something else that they really could use assistance with too.
Beautiful.
And let me know if anybody would like to volunteer. We have a group of 4 of us right now. So and what I mean by volunteer is we'll be asking you to do things such as maybe 3 different people are going to organize the 100 Red Day shirts that we have coming, and by size and by person, and make sure that the right people get the right shirts, and maybe organizing with a group of 5 people, like what they're like, communication between the different groups. We need help with all those different things. You don't have to come up with ideas to help.
Hi, this is Zach. Thanks for calling me
But
back.
to just be willing to help us where we need the help, if that makes sense. So
the logistics, yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. So yeah, please either put in the chat right now or reach out to Michelle. We can use a couple more people to help with logistics. So for now, mark your calendars. Thursday, May 13th. I'd say just mark them from 9 until 4. And this is when we get to, as a group, this is the power of the numbers, as almost 200 agents between New Berlin and Germantown, where we can come together and give back to our community. So I'm excited. Thanks, guys. Yay. Thank you for all your work.
Okay, I'm gonna skip myself so we have time for the coming soons and stuff. I'll just do this next week because I need more than just a couple minutes, so.
Okay.
All right, guys, it is coming soon time. Unmute yourself and let us know what you got coming.
I have a single party opportunity. Get your pens out, people. In Wauwatosa, it's a just under 2,500 square feet, 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath brick colonial. It will be $600,000. So let me know if you have buyers, because I would love to do a single party with you. Also coming up this Friday in the village of Richfield, a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, finished basement on a 1/2 acre, about 1,800 square feet, 288. That'll be live Friday. And then I have a rental coming up in New Berlin. It's kind of a different scenario, but it's a single family 4-bedroom home in New Berlin. It'll only be available from June through October. So if you have like a seller that's building, or if a seller needs like in between time, it's going to be renting for $2,500 a month. That's all I got.
Awesome. Who's next?
We
I
actually
have-
nope.
Go ahead.
All right, I have 2 listings. Actually, Tiffany and I have 2 listings coming up. They're both in delayed status. They're both 4-bedroom, 2 baths. One is 154 South James Street in Waukesha. It's right by Carroll College. Totally redone kitchen, finished basement, super nice house. That'll be at 329.9, and that goes on the market next week, Friday. And then we also have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath bi-level on over an acre in Waukesha. Just had a new kitchen, new countertops put in, new flooring, painted. It's been in the family for like 40 years, but it's in the town, or actually now village of Waukesha, overlooking the like Kettle Moraine, low taxes. And we are listing that one at 14.9, and that one will be going out the end of the month. I believe the 23rd is the longest we could put it out to. So yeah, that's what we got coming up right now, and like 3 or 4 more in the works as well.
I have 3. The first one is a cottage in Pell Lake coming on the market this week. It's a 2-bed, 1 bath. It does have a full basement. It has a detached 2-car garage and like a little storage building that they've kind of converted into like a little like tiny house type of situation, but it's more of like a shed. And it's on almost 3/4 of an acre. It does not have lake rights, but it is really close to Pell Lake, and that'll be listed for $145. Then next week, in the second half of the week, I have a ranch just south of Bayview, like a couple blocks south of Bayview. It's about 1,000 square feet on the main floor. It does have a partially finished basement, so it's about a total of 1,500 square feet. It has 4 bedrooms because it has a bedroom on the lower with a full egress window. It's a 1 bathroom. It has a 1-car detached garage, but then there is a large party room above that, and that will be listed for $215 to $220. We're still deciding. And then my third one will be coming at the end of the month. This is a large 2-bedroom in Pewaukee. Everything in this property is in really good condition. However, it is significantly out of date. So lots of like 1960s tile, but really well kept. It's a 1.5 bath, a 2-bed. There is room to put either a 3rd bedroom or a master suite. That was in the original build plan, and the owner just decided to leave that out because they only wanted 2 bedrooms, but there is space and enough size septic and all of that to accommodate additional bedroom. And it is on a private wooded lot, almost 0.4 acres, like 0.3 acres. It's in a pretty desirable neighborhood, and that'll be $265 in Pewaukee.
Excellent. Who else?
I have one coming soon in West Dallas. We are looking at going live this weekend. Photos are going to be taken Thursday, and it'll end up going into MLS, I believe, on Friday. It's over 2,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms. The 2 bedrooms that are on the upper level are walk-through. There is a full bath up there as well, so it could be converted over to a master suite. It is an all-brick bungalow near State Fair Park, listing for low 2s.
Excellent. Lisa? Politely have your hand raised. I love that.
I was just following Mandy's example. She inspired me. I'm gonna lower my hand now. Okay, I have 3 starting at the end of this week. I have 2 in the Bayview area, or actually one Fernwood. This is around like 1,300-ish square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 2 full bathroom bungalow. It was fully remodeled in the early 2000s, so it doesn't have like the old world charm. So it's a little more modern on the inside. It has a garage, a 2-car garage that was built back around early 2000s as well. So not an ancient garage. And that'll be, I want to say it's gonna be $325. Should be starting Friday. And then I have a little 2-bedroom house, which I had mentioned as a one-party opportunity last week. We're gonna go for a regular listing. So 2-bedroom, 1 bath, just south of Bayview, and has a finished rec room, has a 1-car detached garage plus a parking pad, fenced yard. That one will be $162,500. That starts Friday, but will be in delayed Thursday. And then I have a 2-bedroom on the southwest side of Milwaukee, a brick ranch, 2 bedrooms, about 1,100 to 1,200 square feet, has a finished rec room area in the basement, a detached 2-car garage, decent sized yard, dated inside, but a good bones situation. 179,900. And then I will have another one coming up in the Bayview area maybe next week, and that'll be a 2-bedroom Cape Cod. 3rd bedroom was converted to like a dining room, sitting room, 2-car, huge garage, and really cute. That one probably be around $215,000, maybe next week. We're just waiting for some painting to be done.
Awesome. That's exciting. That was a lot of listings. That's very exciting. Looks like Nicole Asaki has a 3-bedroom, 1 bath going live on the 15th in Oconomowoc. Anybody else? All right. Exciting. That's all I got.
All right, that's it. We're off. Have an amazing week, guys. Go get some listings. Bye. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate you. See you on Thursday. Bye. Bye. Bye.